Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and just so we are 100% clear right out of the gate that the person you see on the screen is not me. That person is Eroctic, the YouTuber and Twitch streamer that has had his channel suffer over 40 DMCA strikes on his content at the hands of the Escape from Tarkov developers Battlestate Games. In yesterday's video, I had stated that 44 videos had been hit with spurious DMCA strikes. However, Eroctic updated that number and increased it to 47, making it the largest number of false DMCA strikes filed against a single channel by a single person or entity in recent memory. Now, in yesterday's video, we discussed the content of the two primary videos that sparked this DMCA sweep by Battlestate Games, and if I'm smart, I'll remember to place a card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen for people to go watch that video before continuing right about now. For a quick recap, for those of you that aren't interested in watching my previous video, which you absolutely should for full context of what has been happening, Eroctic, a YouTuber and Twitch streamer, had two videos struck with spurious DMCA strikes by Battlestate Games. One of those videos contained 7 seconds of clipped and edited Escape from Tarkov footage that served as an intro sequence for the video. And for that video, that was the only Escape from Tarkov material used. The other video made absolutely zero usage of any imagery, footage, or music that could be related to Battlestate Games, instead using screenshots of Eroctic's YouTube comment section, a screenshot of DMs on Discord, and a publicly posted Twitter statement by Battlestate Games. None of that could, by any stretch of the imagination, be considered a copyright violation. For the first video, the 7 seconds in question would be 100% fair use, and the second video, copyright doesn't even apply as nothing owned by Battlestate Games was used at all anywhere in the video. And as a reminder, I was provided with offline copies of these videos. I have them on my hard drive and I have watched them in their entirety. In fact, the footage on your screen from yesterday's video and this one is from those two videos. Now, shortly after those two videos were taken down, Battlestate Games filed DMCA strikes on 8 more videos, bringing the number to an even 10. Then, shortly after that, a third wave struck that accounted for the remaining 37 spurious DMCA strikes. And how they went about that is significant, and I'll circle back to that in just a moment. Also, in yesterday's video, I discussed how Battlestate Games had outright admitted on their Facebook statement surrounding their actions that they had done this not out of a desire to protect their copyright, but in order to silence a YouTuber that they claim was slandering and defaming them when he discussed a third party's posted document outlining grave security concerns surrounding the Escape from Tarkov game launcher and their allegedly inadequate security measures, although they do make use of an MD5 hash for their password protection. So if you do own a copy of Escape from Tarkov, I would absolutely and without reservation urge you to set up two-factor authentication, even if you are among the many that are deciding to not support the developers or the game over their actions here. In fact, regardless of what application or system you use, if two-factor authentication is available, I would urge you to take advantage of it. It's just a good idea. And as you can imagine, between Big Fry TV, myself, the Quartering, and several other content creators, both within and without the Escape from Tarkov community, the visibility on this DMCA abuse has steadily increased over the weekend. Now, in order to address the backlash, Battlestate Games has released another statement this morning in which they again admit that their DMCA strikes were not done out of a desire to protect the copyright of their property. Now, in that statement, they again state that the information in those recent videos was, in their opinions, deliberate slander and baseless accusations. They state, quote, "but also to maintain the most comfortable environment for communication in our community, and that is the exact reason why we believe that restricting access to the Eroctic's videos was the necessary measure," which again further affirms that this was a direct effort to silence Eroctic. They then state that they had restricted access on only project-related videos that contained violations, which again, Battlestate Games have been doggedly clutching to their terms of service for dear life, expecting that to be all the justification they need to be able to do whatever they want with any Escape from Tarkov videos, even videos that merely discuss the game and do not contain any content that could even remotely be considered Battlestate Games property. They then stated that they were, quote, monitoring the videos that they had filed a DMCA strike on and were making final decisions on each particular video, which would line up with a tweet made by Eroctic a short while ago in which he stated that 2 of the videos had been released. Now, let me be absolutely clear here, because there are a lot of people defending Battlestate Games having no knowledge whatsoever as to what is actually happening or what they have done here by filing these DMCA strikes. First, the DMCA takedown system is a legal action that YouTube is required by United States law to have in place in order for them to maintain their safe harbor provision, which is designed to allow copyright holders to protect their property and not have it stolen by others. A common non-gaming example would be if someone were to take that latest song from that great music group that everyone loves so much and upload it onto their channel. That would be copyright theft, and the copyright holder, usually the music studio, could then file a DMCA takedown request to have that video removed by the platform, in this case YouTube, and YouTube is required by that very same law to comply, except in cases where they deem it to be obvious and blatant fair use. Same thing would go for movies, same for any copyrightable property. It is a legal process, and when you fill out the form, you are agreeing under penalty of perjury that what you are claiming is accurate. This is United States law that is accepted via international treaty. Battlestate Games has then immediately turned around and outright admitted this was not the case, that they are not claiming copyright violation but are using US copyright law to silence something they claim to be slander and against their terms of service. And that brings us to the next point of contention, the fact that Battlestate Games is doggedly clinging to their terms of use for dear life. What they fail to realize is that the DMCA system falls under United States law, and as such, fair use and a whole host of other United States laws play a part in determining copyright violation. One particular aspect of note is that United States courts figuratively wipe their asses with terms of service. Reason being is that the United States does not have a great deal of consumer protection laws in place, but one law that we do have is that a person cannot sign away their own rights when it comes to laws. What this means is that no terms of service are enforceable if they happen to contravene existing laws. And when you match that up against Battlestate Games' terms of service, this means that it doesn't matter one iota what their terms of service state or imply. As soon as they invoked the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, they threw away their own terms of service, and fair use doctrine being a part of the DMCA law still very much applies, and that doesn't even touch the video that doesn't even contain any Battlestate Games content. That was a clear breach of legality. What Battlestate Games is doing here, as I have stated emphatically previously, is a violation of the law, and they should be made to answer for it. And I know there will still be some defenders of Battlestate Games claiming that Eroctic defamed them. Okay. Well, if that were the case, they could easily file a defamation complaint against Eroctic on those videos. Now, the reason why they did this is you can tell by both their statements here that they do not like Eroctic being around, and they saw what they believed to be an opportunity to silence him for good. Now remember earlier in the video where I stated the DMCA waves filed by Battlestate Games was significant? Well, the reason for that is how the YouTube system works in response to DMCA strikes. It has a 3 strikes and you're out policy, as everyone well knows, but there are some caveats there as well. First, a strike on a channel will disappear after a certain period of time, 3 months if I remember correctly. Secondly, how YouTube handles the 3 strikes is different than you might think. They are based on number of DMCAs filed, not number of videos struck. Meaning you can have, say for example, 2 videos struck in one DMCA takedown, that would count as 1 strike against the channel. Then you could file a second DMCA strike for, let's say, 8 videos. That would count as 1 additional strike, bringing you to 2. Then if you wanted to completely nuke a channel, you could say file a third DMCA takedown for an additional 37 videos. That would count as 1 more strike, and in the case of Eroctic, it's 3 strikes and you're out. Now, his channel is still visible, but we have no idea for how long. I do know that Eroctic has filed Counter-Strike notifications via email, however, that will still take 30 days to resolve. And in the meantime, Battlestate Games has managed to take down a YouTube channel via a spurious use of the DMCA system in order to silence someone who said something they didn't like. No developer should have that power. No one should have the ability to silence fair critique. If it is slander, fine. If it is defamation, fine. There are systems in place for that. Copyright law is not one of them, and Battlestate Games has again joined the ranks of the many that have wielded DMCA law as a weapon to silence others, themselves violating the law while doing so. The battle against Battlestate is far from over, and I would again urge everyone to please share these videos and raise awareness about what they are doing as much as possible. A person's livelihood is being destroyed because a game developer has no idea how to act like anything except a child throwing a tantrum. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha. I'll see you next time.